everybody, it is Julie. Welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today I'm here with a discussion video. Today I want to discuss with you the ways that my reading has changed since joining BookTube. Mind you, joining BookTube has been an absolutely phenomenal experience. I am so incredibly grateful and thankful for everything that I've done here, all the wonderful people that I've met, and all the connections that I've had. It's been phenomenal. It has changed my reading life, some for good, some for bad. Today we're going to talk about it. I don't have any notes for this. I mean, maybe I should, but I just wanted to sit down and kind of talk to you guys about this. The way that I read has drastically changed since joining BookTube. Before, I was a casual reader. I would pick up a book when a book interested me, and that was about it. I would wait until I saw something that was hyped up. I would peruse a bookstore until a cover seemed to catch my attention. That's not how I read anymore. I will completely admit to wanting to read the books that everybody else is talking about so that I can give my thoughts and opinions on them. Sometimes that even means feeling pulled and drawn to books that I know I probably won't enjoy. BookTube has definitely changed my expectations of books. I'm reading more, so I also know more about the books that are out there, and I expect more from books now. I expect more from books in terms of writing style, character building, plot building, diversity. If I don't find those things, it's a huge issue for me. Where I used to just read to have a mindless escape, now I'm reading looking for specific things that I know readers and the bookish community want in books. And that doesn't mean that I don't want them in books. It just means I'm no longer able to ignore those things and just blindly enjoy a book a lot of the times. Sometimes I can. For the most part, I'm reading very critically. This is not just because I want to give you guys reviews, but it's also because I want to have appropriate Goodreads reviews. I'm realizing now that a lot more people are looking at what I'm reading in terms of recommendations for themselves. I've seen a lot of people, after I finish a book or talk about a book, add it to their Goodreads. I pay attention to those things, guys, and I love that. But that means that I want to be guiding you guys towards the best books possible. That means sometimes reading books that I was iffy about and that if I was just a casual reader, I might have left behind. And then it also means looking at books that I really enjoy very critically so that I can talk to you guys about them in the best way possible and kind of not steer you, but advise you as best as I can what the pros and cons of a book are, and then that way you can better make a decision about your own reading style and whether or not the book works for you. It's become almost a responsibility. I want to make sure I'm doing justice to the book, to the author, and to a review for you guys as well as myself. When you start reading a lot more, in my casual reading life, I was not reading 20 books a month. I'm forming fast opinions in the beginning of books. Now, that does not mean that I'm not being patient and giving a book its whole due. I've just finished several books that took me a really long time to get into, but I was glad I stuck with it. I did a whole video on that. I'm still reading and enjoying what I'm reading. I'm enjoying the reading process. I don't feel necessarily pressured to read, with the exception of some readathons where I really just want to succeed. I'm reading what I want to read anyway, but I no longer look at it from such a casual standpoint anymore. I recently felt really uncomfortable reviewing several different books. I felt really uncomfortable reviewing the Foxhole Court series. I felt really uncomfortable reviewing A List of Cages. I felt really uncomfortable reviewing Night Circus. There are certain books that I don't like that everybody else really seems to enjoy that I don't, and that becomes something that causes a little bit of anxiety because I know unpopular opinions, while everybody says, thank you so much for your honest opinion, I respect your honest opinion, etc., etc. You're always going to get that, and you should always get that no matter where you go. But it is a little bit nerve-wracking putting out your opposing viewpoints and waiting to see what kind of feedback comes in from that. And that's just me being completely honest. I've also had a conversation with you guys and an entire video related to what I feel my responsibility is here on the BookTube community in terms of identifying problematic content. That's a whole other issue that really does factor into my reading. Now, I've addressed it in that video, so you can really just reference that. I'm learning a lot about what I should be looking for in books, what I should expect in books now, the more that I read. So it has its upside and its downside there. Also getting better the longer I spend on BookTube, identifying books that I don't care how many people talk about, I know aren't going to be for me, and letting those pass me by. In terms of how things change for you, they will when you become a part of the BookTube community. I've had more amazing reads in this past year of BookTube than ever before. I'm finding much better books than ever before. also finding worse books than ever before. I'm reading a lot more diversely in terms of content as well, because that's something that I want to be able to provide for you guys and that I didn't really realize I was missing until I joined BookTube. So in so many ways, my world of reading has broadened, and what was already a ferocious desire to read has been fueled in a way that's really kind of amazing. I never buddy read a book before BookTube, so buddy reading's been like this phenomenal occurrence that's happened since BookTube. One of the things that I think can be a con is that I always feel the need to read the latest and greatest or buy and have the latest and greatest book. And that's not just for you guys, that's for me as well. But it means that I'm not rereading, I'm not revisiting my favorites as often as I would like to be. I feel a little bit more time constricted. I'm trying to find a good balance because my reading has definitely taken over, not my social life necessarily, but my free time, and I'm not writing as much. This has really been something that I need to budget into my day a lot more, not just for you guys, but because I personally am just really enjoying reading right now. The frequency by which I'm reading, the diversity and expansion across all genres that I'm reading has grown. In general, my reading world has opened up so much since joining BookTube. If you have any other questions or thoughts or concerns or comments about reading and reading post BookTube, I would love to hear them down below. So when I sat down to film this, I really just wanted to go over the ways that, yes, of course, my reading has changed. But if you have any specific questions, definitely ask them down below. I may answer them in the comments, or I may include them in the Q&A that's going to be coming up for my 5K. Either way, I promise I will get to your questions. Thank you for always being so understanding and accepting of myself and my views and my opinions, and even if you disagree with me, voicing it so respectfully. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your influence on my reading life post BookTube and all of your amazing recommendations and the way that you've pushed me outside of my comfort zone of reading. It's been so much fun. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give me a big old thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye guys.